Here's something I've been thinking about lately. Every single object you own is asking something of you. It needs to be cleaned, stored, organized, managed, moved around, and eventually either stuffed into a bin in the basement or donated or sold. Most of us don't think about it that way. We think about what a product does for us. We almost never think about what it costs us to own it. And this reframe changed everything about how I buy things for my baby. And today I want to show you what's actually in rotation in our home right now. 9 months in, third baby. And more importantly, why each of these things earned its place. I am delighted to report that this video is made in partnership with Coterie. And if you've been around for a while, you know that this relationship is genuine and long-standing. Welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, my name is Anne. I'm a health coach, a plant-based mama, and somehow a mom to 3 boys 4 and under. So when Edgar was born, my first, I thought being prepared meant having more. Secretly. I secretly thought that. Every registry checklist, every must-have newborn video, every well-meaning relative with an Amazon link, it all pointed in the same direction, more. I thought I was a minimalist back then, but now, with my third baby, I think about it completely differently. So my advice to new moms, don't ask, what do I need? Ask, will I still be using this with my third baby? Hypothetically. And can this one product solve 3 things? Does this thing actually earn its place in my home and in my mind? And these questions are the filter. Okay, so the first product on this list illustrates this concept beautifully, of this filter that we're looking through. The diapers are Coterie. And before I tell you why, I want to tell you something that I think is genuinely useful. So here's what nobody says out loud when they're talking about diapers. The diaper decision compounds. Whatever is touching your baby's skin is touching it for 24 hours a day, every day for 2 to 3 years, maybe longer, because then there's nighttime, which is a whole nother thing. So this is one of the highest material contact decisions that you'll make for your baby, for your child's body. And most people treat it like it's interchangeable. So as a holistic health coach and as someone who's spent many years thinking about cumulative exposure and what we're asking little bodies to process, Coterie is not a premium diaper to me. It's the baseline. It is what clean looks like in this category. So Oscar is 9 months old now. He has the most beautiful skin, soft and clear and no irritation and just squidgy. We don't overbathe, but what's in constant contact day after day is the diaper, which holds over 16 ounces of liquid, confirmed in lab testing. So my baby is never sitting in moisture. It absorbs over 10 times its weight in liquid with proprietary top sheet technology that traps the moisture inside the core of the diaper. So this helps to keep the skin dry to minimize the moisture-related diaper rash. And these are not marketing words to me. These are the mechanics of why we have dry mornings, why my baby isn't sitting in a puddle in the morning consistently across 3 babies. 4 years. And now my toddler is in the pant. Now, if you're a mother of toddlers, you know that diaper changes are less of a diaper change and more of like a negotiation, aren't they? What's so great about the pant is it pulls up like a training pant, so the guy has some dignity, and then I can pull it off with the tabs. And I can get my job done easily and quickly, as quickly as possible. Which is so important on a hard day, especially if you have 3. So there's wraparound pleating and there's 20+ strands of spandex, and it moves with him and he moves without gaping. Plus it holds over 17 ounces of liquid overnight. My toddler sleeps long and hard, and the pant handles it. 3 boys, 4 years, the diaper has not changed. And that's the whole endorsement, guys. Use Veggie Ann for 20% off down below, one time or auto renew. Of course, auto renew is what I do and what I always recommend. You set it up once, your diapers arrive, you never run out. And in a season where your mental load is at capacity, automating this one thing is genuinely worth it. 10% off every monthly restock, free trial pack of the next size up. Need I say more? Link and code are down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel if you choose to do so. So So we don't use a changing table. We did in the beginning. We got one off of Facebook Marketplace, and we found that a changing table really just becomes a shelf. And I don't have room in my home or my mind for that kind of thing. So what we use are changing mats on top of my Hugo mat. The Hugo mat we've used for all 3 babies. It's amazing. And it really deserves a moment here because it's one of the most multifunction baby gadgets in our home. I've used it for tummy time and like baby discover the world, lie down on this pad thing. And now that my baby is everywhere, getting into everything. I use it because it kind of bends in half. I use it to block off cords or anything else that I don't want him getting into. It's fantastic. So this made the cut because it's one thing that does multiple things. And I love that it folds in half. I want to talk about sleep now because sleep at 9 months certainly looks different from sleep at 9 days. And I think the transition story is worth telling, honestly. So we recently transitioned my baby out of the SNOO and into his little mini crib. And if you've been watching this channel, you know that the SNOO, we're new to the SNOO. The SNOO was a new thing for third baby. So I want to give you a real update so you know the rest of the story. I literally prepared myself for days of sleepless nights. I did. I thought it was gonna be rough. I thought the transition was, I did. And guess what? It was seamless. Hallelujah. Now I say this, it might not be your experience, but I just want to add my 2 cents into this story so that mothers out there know that it can be seamless. You deserve an honest data point here from my personal experience. So here's what I credit it to. So the SNOO built an extraordinary sleep foundation over the last several months. Now, 2 things that of course stayed consistent through this transition are the white noise machine and blackout curtains. Those are, in my opinion, very important. So these 2 things sort of kept the environment steady while the actual sleeping bed changed. Another thing I want to say is that as we sort of weaned him off the SNOO, I mean, we never really used the rocking function of the SNOO ad nauseum. We would always turn it on if you needed it and then turn it off. And so then when I started to prep him to change out of the SNOO, I used it even less and less. Because I knew that that functionality wasn't gonna be present anymore. So I just started to be almost pretend it wasn't there unless, I thought, it's the middle of the night and I have this function still, so I will use it, But I did think about that as I was transitioning. Anyway, the SNOO is amazing. I said it in one of my previous videos. I still believe that this is probably one of the most important products of my momming life. I wish I had it with my first. I'm so sad that I didn't know about it or realize how amazing it was with my first, but learn from me with my third baby, the SNOO. I stand by it. I have a code down below. Use it. You could rent it or buy it. All right, let's talk about products that make leaving the house possible. That's important. You need to get out of the house. If you are a new mom, this is everything. Baby wearing is not one thing, it is 2 things or more. Front carry and back carry. They're both super important and they serve 2 different purposes. And when you have 3 kids, you need both. Even if you don't have 3 kids, both are great. So the baby carrier is my front carry workhorse. Oscar at the moment still takes 2 cat naps in the carrier on my chest. So in the morning, he has like a little 30-minute, and then in the afternoon, oftentimes he'll have 25 minutes or so. He sleeps in the crib midday for his big kahuna nap, but the mini cat naps he does in the carrier. And if you have a newborn baby, the carrier is everything. And if you have more than 1 child, the carrier is everything. And if you have 2 little children and you're trying to go anywhere, You only have 2 hands. So the carrier is everything. That way you can hold baby without holding baby, and you can hold 2 hands. Now you might say, well, what about the stroller? I don't recommend you use the stroller here when you're going out, is if you can avoid it, if you have multiple children, because how are you gonna do that? You can't push your stroller while holding 2 hands. Even 1 hand is difficult. The baby carrier for the win, if you can baby carry, yes. So let's talk about back carry. Now, if you're a new mom, typically back carry doesn't actually happen until later, unless you do the sort of origami rucksack carrier method, which you can look up on YouTube. I can even link it. I don't do it because I'm afraid of it. It is a whole thing. You can do it. Mothers do it in all sorts of countries all over the world. Little tiny babies are on the back in a special rucksack carry. But I choose to do it in the front until my baby has better neck control, around 6 months. Around 6 months. And for back carry, I use the Sakura Bloom Scout carrier. You know, in hindsight, I should have maybe gotten the Ohomnobuo. I'll put it on the screen because then it doesn't have the waist strap and it's just a back carry. But regardless, the Sakura Bloom Scout is what I use for back carry because you can cinch it right here, which makes the straps pull in as opposed to pulling out. It depends on your body type. Some women don't need that pull-in function, but I personally do, so I like that there's that strap in the front that I can use for back carry. Just a quick word about being a mom of 3. You just need to do it anyway. If you do not have the mentality of, I just need to do this anyway, then nothing will ever get done. So carrying your baby, sometimes it is just a non-negotiable. It's a must. It's a must. I must clean the kitchen at night. Ish, right? Nothing crazy. I have to reset my house because there's food all over the floor because I have 3 little boys eating. It's like, yeah, I need to clean the floor. Otherwise, we're going to live in filth. And since I must do that, if my baby is not content, he needs to go in the back carrier and we need to get it done. Next, let's talk about the Doona. So honest feedback on the Doona. We have used it for all 3 children. Hooray, because it's not a cheap one. If you haven't heard of the Doona, it's a car seat that also converts into a stroller. One gadget, 2 functions. No transfer. If your baby sleeps in the car, highly ups the chance that she is gonna keep sleeping with this function because the wheels come off. Here's the thing. You need a car seat and you probably need a stroller. So I highly recommend the Doona. I do. I would buy it again if I had 6 more children because the Doona is, I'm not gonna have 6 more children, but I'm just saying it is really fantastic to have one thing that does 2 things. Now, like I said, when I go out, I will often put baby in the carrier. That just works better. But I love that I have a stroller when I need it. It's fantastic. And I don't have 2 objects for that. I have 1 for a car seat and a stroller. A minimalist's dream. Is it the best stroller? No, it's not the best stroller. But if you want the best stroller, chances are it's not also a car seat. Okay, so 2 products I want to mention that aren't like super glamorous or whatever, but they're real. What you would need, mama, is you need, in my opinion, you need a Haka milk catcher if you're breastfeeding, and the little hand pump, and a My Best Friend or some other nursing pillow. Now this depends on your body. This depends on how low the girls go, because I was talking with a friend of mine and she doesn't have this problem because, you know, we just have different sizes and I have a longer torso. So for me, as a long torsoed, not extremely well endowed woman, I can't nurse just like that. I can't do it. So if you find yourself in this camp, then having a breastfeeding pillow is really important, especially if you're a first time mom, because if there's anything that I will say about breastfeeding is having a comfortable setup is key. It's everything. What I love about the My Best Friend is that it clicks and there's a little pocket. And so then I can really feel supported. The The boppy, a lot of people swear by the boppy. It's like on and off, but for me, it's always off. It's always sliding off because I have to put another pillow under it since I am so long torsoed. So for me, it is always sliding off and a hassle. So I love the fact that the My Breast Friend clicks into place. I highly recommend it. So let's talk about the Haka again. So the Haka, again, if you can breastfeed, the Haka milk catcher is amazing because it saves every drop. It saves every precious drop. When you're feeding it on one side, maybe you'll have letdown on the other side. I do still. And so the Haka milk catcher it's a godsend, really. I mean, any breast catcher, this is just the best one that I have found. I recommend this one. I love the little shape, ladybug shape of it and how it's like inconspicuous. And in terms of the Haka breast pump, you're gonna have your own relationship with pumping. And I don't know what that is. You might be exclusively pumping, or you might need to do power pumping to up your supply. I don't know what the situation is, but what I will recommend is that the hand expression Haka is very useful in in most scenarios, because at some point you might need just to relieve some pressure. You could be weaning, you could be just on vacation and you need to pump a little bit. Whatever the case is, I use the Haka every single day because I express a little bit in the morning and it is my go-to. With my third baby, I realized I was a good producer and so I didn't have to do the electric pump. I didn't have to do all that stuff because with my first, it was just very difficult. And so with my subsequent babies, I swore I wouldn't do that and thank God I didn't have to. So the Haka has been my go-to. It's easy, clean. I highly recommend it. You just squeeze it, you put it on, and you do the job. So let's talk about Monty Kids, and this connects to the philosophy that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. My baby doesn't have a play gym or some sort of like activity center or jumperoo. He has the floor, he has that Hugo mat I mentioned. A small collection of wooden Montessori toys that we got with my first. We had a Monty Kids subscription, and they're all these like super wholesome, fantastic wooden toys. And we've kept them. They've stuck around. We subscribed once, Edgar used them, then Ernest used them, and now Oscar is using them. Now, as a third-time mom, is my baby also chewing on monster trucks? Absolutely. Yes. Because I have older kids who are no longer playing with wooden toys. They also have trucks. Blame my husband. But they have trucks. They have lots of trucks. And so there are trucks everywhere. So then therefore my baby also has access to those. But now if I had my druthers, would he just be sort of playing in a Montessori land? Sure. But real life. But here's the point I want to make, guys. The point I want to make is that this subscription that we had with my first, I use it for all of my kids, right? I was subscribed for several months or so in the beginning, and then with my other boys, they use the same toys. Done. I did it once. Done. It's not one toy that you got with your first that was kind of like janky and then you ended up donating and it wasn't worth it. You want toys that are going to earn their place in your home. Not a one-time use. So when you're considering any baby product, ask, is this a one-off kind of thing? Or is this gonna stand the test of time? Is this gonna be a long-standing item in my home? It completely changes what you buy and how much you spend. And honestly, eventually how much you donate or throw away or pass on and all that hassle, because every object you own is asking something of you. I said that in the beginning and I want to say it again because honestly I think it's one of the most useful reframes that you can have in this baby stage, but also in life. So if you're a mama who's about to build a registry or you're working on your registry and this matters to you, then think about this. You don't want to be drowning in gear that you bought in good faith or that you asked others to lovingly bestow upon you. You want stuff that you're not gonna have to donate in a few months. So the products that I featured in this video are the ones that really stood the test of time for me with all three of my boys, and I've been through a lot of trial and error here, and these are the ones I still reach for day after day. And one thing I'll say is that motherhood doesn't necessarily get easier, but it gets lighter when you stop letting your stuff make demands on you. So I hope that these tips really helped you. If they did, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content of this nature. I thank you in advance. Everything that I mentioned in this video will be linked below. And thank you to Coterie for partnering with me on this video. Use Veggie Ann for 20% off. And please do the auto renew. Set it up, done and dusted. And I'd love to know from you, other moms out there, what is one baby product that really stood the test of time, that earned its place in your home? Drop it below. I read all of your comments, and so do other viewers. So share your wisdom. And thank you guys so much for tuning into Veggie Magnifique. I will see you all next time.